All right, so let's just inform them we are live, so we can start. Okay, so we just give some minutes, right, and then some seconds, then we'll start. We just have few people on the call, and like to probably wait for them to join us so that we can start. While we are doing that, I think we can just go on with our introduction, right? I mean, try to introduce ourselves and the brand so we can proceed. So we can proceed. Okay, so welcome everyone for those that are here. So I can see few people, very few people that just joined. Can you guys hear me? If you know you can hear me, please let me know. Our audience, if you know you can hear me. Hi, interns, if you know you can hear me, please let me know. You can use the comments. Let us know you can hear me. I just want to be sure that I'm audible. Yeah. Oh, okay. I can hear you. That's great. Yes, that's great. Thank you very much for that. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Okay, yeah, we can hear you. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, Tunde. Good afternoon, everyone. It's another amazing section here again. So we are going to be diving into the case study five, case study three, right? Try to explain what the case study three is, and then our feedback as usual, so that it's amazing. To be very honest, the journey so far has been amazing. If you ask me, I will say that the journey so far has been amazing, and you guys have seen it actually on the group chat. We are so amazing. Just a second. I can hear myself in the other background, but that's fine. Okay, so welcome everyone. Welcome everyone, and we are glad to have you guys here. And as usual, you guys know me. So we are going to do a quick introduction of ourselves, and then we dive into the this section. So my name, as usual, do I need to introduce myself again? Right? Okay, I am Chinyere, and of course, that's just me. So today is so amazing for me. Today is my birthday. Today is my birthday. Okay, so let's dive into the program. I have my colleague here, and I have Blessing. Blessing is also our colleague, because she has been with us, right? But I would like her to introduce herself so that we can dive into the program. I'm not sure you guys have seen her, but any of our alumni on this call, I believe the person have seen Blessing. Blessing, please introduce yourself and so we can proceed.
All right, hello everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Ibrahim Blessing, and just like Miss Chinwe explained, just as she introduced me, I'm not sure every one of us know me except for the alumni that I've trained. So I'm Blessing. I'm a data analyst too, and I'm just someone passionate about growth and empowering others. So just all about me, that I would say. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that. Nice to join us in this amazing feedback section. Blessing, it's nice to have you. Blessing is always, she's an amazing person. I have worked with her and I can tell you that she is an amazing person. Right? So, guys, welcome. I don't know why people are not, I don't know, people are not yet here. What is no, why does nobody,
Guess
right?
because
So,
today
is it maybe they believe that they passed the case 33, and there is nothing else again. But they don't know that the journey just started. The journey just started. Okay, do you want to say anything, Blair, Sandra, so that we can proceed? I think it's over to you. Over to you now. Sandra, can you hear me? If you're talking, I cannot hear you. You're muted.
I can hear you. Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Sunday. Good afternoon, Blessing. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you. I'm sure that our interns are going to learn a lot from your expertise today. You're going to tell us what it is to actually be a good data professional, or tell them rather, and tell us too, because we are also learning. Yeah.
Everybody.
So thank you all for joining us today. So I don't know if you have a friend or you know each other in the chat in the WhatsApp group, call them to join at this is already 2 p.m. So call them to join, let them join us on time. All right. So my name is Sandra Ashagade, and you all know me. I'm a data analyst and the data analytics team lead here at Amdo Analytics, and also your super genie on the group, because without our tips, I don't know how you guys would have been able to deliver good reports. But we are so amazed, like what Shinere said. Like, we saw your submissions and we are like, are these the same people who complain on the group? Because I don't know, like, listen, if you see these guys on the group, they're always complaining. Somebody will say, this is day 5, I have not started, I've not done anything. And even I think there was a time me and Cherry were talking like, maybe we should extend this submission, because the way they have been complaining. But then looking at their submission, I think they were just joking, or they were whining us, as Nigerians would call it. They were whining us. So thank you all very much. And yeah, so let's just get started. Let's go into business. I'm going to share my screen soon. So I believe,
Okay.
Blessing, you've gone through the case study, right?
Yeah.
But I'm going to just briefly run through the case study, and we're just going to ask you a few questions. You tell us your approach, or how you'd approach this case study if you were an intern. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So just hold on. Let's see. All right. So please let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, yes, I can see you.
All right. So we've done case study 1, case study 2, and now case study 3. You know, this case study 3, it was a little bit similar. Should I say similar to case study 2, but with a different spice, right? With a different spice, with a different atarudo to it. So case study 1 was all about you creating an interactive dashboard that your audience can be able to, interact with to get insights. It was just like a teaser into the internship. And I could see the surprise on some people's faces. Should I say faces, or their text on the WhatsApp group, because they didn't expect it, that okay, we've moved from case study 1 and we're entering into something even more higher, right? So very probably some people thought it was just going to be, baby steps here and there. But no, you are here to learn, you're here to grow. And like I said, we are actually so amazed at your growth so far. So let's get into case study 3. So the topic for this case study is the impact of rising cost of living on economic health in Africa. In Africa, because I'm sure there are some interns here that are not from Nigeria, even though majority of you guys here are from Nigeria. Some of us are not from Nigeria. All right. And we believe that a lot is going on. A lot is affecting the economic health in Africa. So as a Nigerian myself, we know how people are always complaining. um Things are getting costly by the day. Things are getting tougher, more expensive by the day. How is this, how are these affecting the economic health? All right. So that is what, or that's the focus, the impact. That's the focus of for this particular case study. So we have the background, right? In recent years, many countries have experienced a notable increase in the cost of living, driven by various factors such as inflation, global commodity price fluctuations, and domestic economic policies. This trend has become a significant concern across the globe, and its effects are particularly pronounced in emerging and developing economics or economies. The rising cost of living not only affects individual households, but also has a profound implications for national and global economic health. That is, it is not just affecting our individual household, but also affecting the nation at large. All right. So many African countries face high inflation rates, volatile commodity prices, and currency fluctuations, all of which contribute to increasing prices for essential goods and services. This economic strain is compounded by factors such as limited infrastructure, dependence on imports, and fluctuating economic growth rates. So I believe from this background, like we all understand where we are going with this particular case study, right? So the aim of this case study is to explore how increasing living expenses impact economic stability and growth, with a focus on key areas such as consumer behavior, inflation, employment, and poverty. So we've given you guys the intents, the key areas that we're supposed to focus on. All right. So, all right. So these are, the objectives. We wanted you to analyze the relationship between the rising cost of living and inflation, to examine how increasing living costs contribute to overall inflationary pressures. We also wanted you to assess the impact of purchasing power on economic stability, to investigate the impact on business operations and investment decisions. And lastly, right, the end goal is to provide strategies or recommend strategies that policymakers, can implement, something that will help us to combat this impact, because it can be a positive impact, it can be a negative impact. All right. So, Blessing, right? Can you hear me, Blessing?
Okay. Yes, I can. I can
Okay.
hear you.
All right. So I believe that you've gone through this case study, right?
Indeed.
Okay. So, how would you approach this? Let me stop sharing my screen. How would you approach this if you were an intern?
Okay. So for me, when I went to the case study yesterday, I didn't really check the data set though, but I through the slides that was sent to me. I believe that every judge has come here to say one or two things. The first thing they would tell you, if you're going to be approaching any problem as a data, first understanding the objective, understanding what the problem is all about. Because if you don't understand the problem, you end up solving your own problem. You have to understand the problem that you're asked to solve before you can start approaching it. So key thing first for me is first understand what exactly you want me to do. What exactly is the problem you want me to solve? What exactly is the solution you want me to provide? That is one, understanding it. And part of understanding this problem is me trying to simplify the objective in a term that I can understand. When I saw the objective, if you are someone like me, I don't like grammars. I don't like big grammars. So I'll try as much as possible when I say objective sent to me to simplify it in a language that I myself can relate with, I can understand. That way I'll know, okay, because I'm very sure some of us, not everybody participated in this third project. Some, the moment they saw the project given to them, they will run away because looking at it alone is enough to make you shake, right? So you sit down with it, take out time to simplify those objectives. Then key terms, keywords in those objectives that you don't really understand, pick them out and try to understand, you know, get definitions for them. So that way you know how to handle and how to approach that problem. So understanding the problem, the objective first is number one. Simplifying the objective in a language that you can understand is another thing, still under understanding that objective, right? Bringing out keywords. What if now what we're talking about is just on, economic health and the likes. What if you're giving project on finance? What if you're giving project on retail, on supply chain? There's some keywords that you might not be really familiar with. So when you check through this objective, you'll definitely find those keywords. Draw them out and know what those keywords means. That is one thing. Then the next thing I want to look at is breaking it down. I want to break it down. And when I say breaking it down, I want to look at, okay, what is going to be my area of focus? One, that's what I'm breaking it down. What's my area of focus? Then, what are the questions I want to ask? I want to answer under this area of focus. Then, what kind of data do I want to work with? In this case now, I can say, okay, my area of focus, we're thinking about the cost of living and how it affects economic growth and stability. If you're looking at area of focus, you say, okay, I want to look at the cost of living and inflation. These are area of focus. I want to look at its impact on employment. That's, I mean, yes, jobs and how people purchase things. I want to look at the impact of it on businesses. So I'm going for the first focus, which is the cost of living versus the inflation. I want to answer questions like, okay, how does the cost of living affect inflation? Is it that as the cost of living increases, inflation also increases? We want to look at that. Then you arrive, okay, I'm working on this. I'm trying to use these keywords. I mean, answer these key questions. I want to look at data around, prices. I want to look at data around inflation rate. Bringing it back down to, okay, how that inflation affects employment. Want to look at answer quick questions like, okay, how are families coping? How are individuals coping? How are they coping with this economic system? How many people are losing their jobs due to the fact that things are increasing? Key questions that you want to answer. Then you go back to the impact on businesses. Okay, you want to answer questions like, how are businesses being affected? Are they really operating the way they should? So all this, it is first understanding the problem. Once you are done understanding the problem, then you try to break it down. First, speak out the focus Hello, am I here? Can you hear me,
Yes, you are
please?
here. Yes.
Okay, so it is then after understanding the problem, look at the breakdown, which is your focus area where you want to focus on, then the key questions you want to answer for each of the focus area, then the kind of data. So I think in the objective just stated that if you don't have the data, you are permitted to sort for other data too. So once you know your focus, the key questions you want to answer, then if you check through your data, if the data you want to work with is not, then you can now sort for other data to back up what you want to work on. So the moment I'm done, with the breakdown, and I have everything already, then I would move to, okay, let's analyze. Let's start analyzing the problem. Let's analyze and organize the whole thing for, just run the analysis. And once I'm done, I want to, use visuals to report my analysis so that people that going through it will understand what I worked on. I think that's of my end for now.
All right, thank you very much, Blessing. So there was something you said. You said if you don't understand the problem, you end up solving your own problem. When we were talking, I was just like, deep. Now this is deep. So the key thing, right? The first thing is first of all understanding the problem,
Yeah.
understanding the background, the objective, what you are being asked to do. That will guide you in delivering a good report, right? So thank you very much, Blessing, for that, and I hope we are all taking down notes. We should actually. And she also said something about their terms, because this terminologies like economic might be new to a lot of people, right? Not everybody understand what economic health is. Not everybody
Definitely.
understand it. So instead of just jumping into the lagoon, or jumping into the lagoon of this information, why not try to understand the key terminologies that relate to this particular topic? I mean, that will give you like a good head start, right? So thank you very much, Blessing. So let's ask the our economist in the house. All right. So she so she studied economy, right? So what can you tell us? Like, what would be your approach to this case study coming from someone with an economic background?
Okay, so Bessie said something that if you're trying to solve a problem, and first thing you need to do is to understand the problem, right? I'll take this quote from Albert Einstein. So Albert Einstein said something. I think Albert Einstein. I don't know if I pronounced that second word right. He said that if he's given an hour, that's 60 minutes to solve a problem, that he will use 55 minutes to understand the problem and then 5 minutes to solve the problem. Right now, it comes to the area of problem solving, like understanding the problem. I think that we have actually said a lot about this, how to understand your problem in the previous feedbacks, right? So understand the problem, what the problem is all about, what do I need to do, and all that, right? Um, this is talking about economic growth, just like you said. We are not, everybody cannot be economically inclined with some things happening in the country and all of that around the world, right? But to be very honest, I find this topic very, very interesting, right? It's not because I have the economic background, I'm an economist, right? But then it's something that we, everybody should understand. Now, if I want to approach this case study, first of all, understand we are talking about how these things, the increasing let me say price of goods and services, or how the rising of prices affect the economic growth, economic health. Now, what is economic health? Start talking about how the economy is functioning and all that, right? Now, first thing you need to understand, right, before we start talking about those things, what are the measures to actually know that the economy is functioning well or not? Do you understand? What are the terminology, or what are the indicators to measure economic growth? By then, you start looking at just like what we have here. We have unemployment, right? We told you guys, we listed, there are a lot of indicators out there, right? You can actually use to measure economic growth, economic health of a country. You can use something like unemployment, right? Poverty rate, a lot of them out there that you can use, right? You can use um there is a lot you can use. You can use stock market performance. You can even use trade balance, right? We don't have trade balance there, but you can use it. You can use income inequality. Now when we start talking about the gap between the rich and the poor, these are the things that you can actually look at and say that, oh, this country is actually functioning well, right? Of course, number one, you can look at the GDP right now, this gross um domestic products, right? When we start talking about the total value of goods and services produced in a country over a specific period of time, right? These are the things, and of course, inflation rates. Remember, these things I'm mentioning are the key indicators of economic health, right? That the economy is functioning well, the inflation rate. Though we gave you guys about four of them, say, okay, focus on this area, which is not bad if you debate, but not too much, right? So focus on this area. Now, I will first of all understand these things, understand the terminologies. Oh, these are the things that I need to looked at, okay, we are asked to focus on what inflation. Now, I would like to understand what's inflation all about, right? That's when we talk about how quickly prices of goods and services are rising over the time, over a period of time, right? It could be yearly and annually and all that, right? So I would like to understand the inflation rate, what it takes, and how do I measure inflation rate, and of course, consumer spending. That's consumer behaviors. How you and I, how we behave or how we react increase to the increase of prices of goods and services, right? These are the things you need to look out for. But again, when you want to understand it, now calm down. I've seen that these are the indicators, these are the economic indicators to understand, to measure the economic health of a country. Now, what are the data set provided? They are provided with some data sets, and the data set is not complete. What do I need to do? Sit down. The first thing, sit down. What do I need to do? Your own indicator and mine will not definitely be the same, right? Understand some terminologies, the things I need to do. And of course, you were told to use the poverty rate, okay? Understand what is the let me say the average, let me say the when a country is functioning well in terms of poverty, and when let me say the poverty rate of every country, right? When they say that, oh, this is below poverty rate, we say that this one they are extreme poverty in that country. I think of today, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's 2.5, no, 2.15, right? That's $2.15. So when an individual in a country is earning less than 2.5, $2.15, it simply means that the country is in what is in poverty. Let me say extreme poverty. Why these are the things? Understand those indicators, right? We thought about. I saw some things about um the unemployment, people looking at unemployment and inflation, because just like I said, it's actually an interesting topic. So I took out time to go through some of these charts, especially on Medium, right? So I saw a lot of people saying that inflation rate is affecting unemployment. I was like, how? Inflation rate cannot affect unemployment, right? It can, like, Philip Cobb, for those of us that studied, I don't know if I have anybody that studied economics here, but let me just give you as an assignment, right? There is what we call Philip Curve in economics, right? Now, Philip Curve theory said that there is an inverse relationship between unemployment rate and what and inflation, right? There is an inverse relationship between them. Now, you cannot say that unemployment, that when there is increase in unemployment rate or increase in inflation, there is an increase in unemployment rate. No, when there is an increase in inflation, people will be hungry. They want to do anything to earn money. Okay, that simply means that is an inverse relationship there. I don't want to go far, please, so that I won't digress too much, so it won't look so technical, right? But do we actually understand this? I don't know if I answered that question. Sandra, are you there? Did I answer your question?
Yes, you did.
How
So
you
And
can how you can approach the data? I think I
all
okay, can you
right,
hear
so
me?
sorry, I want to.
All right.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, please go on,
yes, you
Blessing.
can.
All right, so I think one last thing I didn't put there was recommendation. Yeah, recommendation was one last thing I didn't add to the whole thing. After running the analysis and showing people, then what am I recommending for the whole thing to work out? Because that's the main goal. That's the main thing, the real deal. So that's all.
Okay, exactly. Because
Right
the
here.
end goal, right? We are not just analyzing. Okay, sorry, please, you want to say something, Cherry?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
So what I want to say, right, is I don't know, have we come to the part of our findings on their post?
Sorry, please come again.
Like, have we start discussing the findings, our observations on their post, right? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, please go ahead. Just proceed. Proceed.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Blessing, and for your input. So, like Blessing said, recommendation. We saw a lot of visuals, right? And I don't know. and I think I said that in our last we said that in our last live. They look so chat GPT generated. They look so chat GPT generated. So your findings or your recommendations, it should relate with what you are trying to solve, right? Not like something different. Because the end goal is to be able to suggest strategies that policymakers can implement to combat this issue facing the country or the continent at large. Okay, and you were given key areas to focus on. All right, so moving on, we have there are some submissions that would like to share. So these are submissions that we will not be able to share all of them, right? But these are we just want to talk about a few to see if these people actually got the case study right, they got it correctly, and they delivered well. All right, so I would need your help, blessing, with this, right? So I'll be sharing my screen very soon, and then we're going to go through the some of these submissions together. I was so surprised when I saw these submissions. I was like, were these the same people that said they've not started anything? And I'm seeing something really marvelous on their submission post on LinkedIn. And I was so marvelous. I marveled. All right. So we have Nafisa. I don't know if she's here on this live, but we have Nafisa Jayola. And this is our own. So let me see if I can open this up. All right. So I don't know if you can see my screen. Blessing, can you see my screen? Chinri.
Go ahead, I can see it. Our person is not.
Blessing, is Blessing there, please?
No. I think no, she's not here. Maybe it's her network, but you can proceed.
Okay. So I saw this and I was just smiling from cheek to cheek because this person, like she knew how to get attention, like to grab my attention. So we're going to go into that attention part very soon. All right. So the impact. There was somebody on the WhatsApp group. I think there was talk about visualization, and somebody said this case study or this analysis is more of a report than a dashboard. I don't know why people are still creating dashboard. If we wanted a dashboard, right, we would have let you know that okay, we wanted a dashboard. We don't want a dashboard, or we didn't want a dashboard. We want something that you will be able to present to an audience. So let's say you are called to present your findings. We want something that if your audience look at this, they are able to tell that, okay, this is the insight from this visual. Straight to the point. So I love what Nafisa did here. I love her use of colors. I love the way she bold some characters to lay emphasis on that particular character. All right. And I also love the metrics that she has here at the top, average cost of living. So when you select by country, you are able to see the average cost of living for that particular country. And also when you select by country, you're also able to see the average unemployment rate, the poverty rate, and the minimum wage. I like this minimum wage because if the minimum wage is something that is very good, that a lot of people are comfortable with, even with the rising cost of living, at least people will be able to afford the essential things because the minimum wage is comfortable, or they're comfortable with the minimum wage. All right. So I actually love, so Nafisa, if you are here, well done on your presentation. Okay, well done on your presentation. Not too much. I saw a lot of scatter plots. I saw a lot of line charts. There was a particular line chart I saw, and I was like, this line chart is too cluttered. Like, why are you having so many lines on the same line chart? And I'm like, I was so confused looking at it. I don't know, but if I see it, I'm going to share it here. All right, so let's move on. So we have here that Nigeria's Sorry. All right. So we have here that Nigeria's high GDP contrasts with a moderate cost of living index, suggesting that while its economy is large, income inequality or ineffective wealth distribution might limit the benefits for average household. So I don't know, Sherry, can you help us out with this? Is there something you want to like point out from um this particular sentence coming from the economics that we have here?
Can you can I get that again?
All right, so we have here that Nigeria's high GDP contrasts with a moderate cost of living index, suggesting that while its economy is large, income inequality or ineffective wealth distribution might limit the benefits for average households.
Yeah, the statement is correct. So what are you saying I should do? I should explain it.
Like, is there something like from an economist um, view? Can
Perspective, yeah.
you maybe buttress more on this? Yes.
Right. So I believe what she's trying to say here, right, is
Mm,
that when we are talking about economic income inequality, I think I mentioned it here, right? Where let me say the how the richest are earning their money more than how the poor are, getting it, right? Or the
mm-hmm.
treatment, like you earning as because you are a rich man, right? You are earning like 200,000 naira, and let me say an average Nigerian man I am earning like 3,000 naira. So that's why I'm talking about the income inequality, and of course it will affect household and the spending, because there is no market for you the rich man, and there's no market for me the poor man, right? So that will
Mm,
actually affect how the poor then live. I mean, even their spend, their eating, their feeding, right? It will definitely affect it. Right, I just believe that I got that right. Let me see. So yes, that why the economy is large, income inequality or ineffective wealth distribution. Yes, that might limit the benefit of average household. That's what I just explained.
yes, exactly. So the inequalities, right, in income can also play a huge part, right? I think I studied that there are like if you are earning well or if you are getting a good income, right? The purchase of essential things will not be so even if the cost of living is increasing, but as money is coming, like you're actually getting a good income flow, you wouldn't think or you wouldn't find it hard to to live, basically to live. So I don't know
Yeah,
if blessing is back. Okay.
yeah, income inequality, right? It's actually affected a lot. Let me use Africa as example, right? The gap between the rich and the poor is so massive, right? Like currently, I can literally say that the poor are getting poorer in Nigeria. Let me use
Mm-hmm.
Nigeria for example, right? No, income inequality is talking about the gap, the difference between the poor and the rich. You understand? You see a whole lot
Yeah.
of people complaining that they cannot feed themselves, and you see politicians, living well, like living this kind of life that they dreamed of, right? And of course,
Yeah.
it will actually reduce economic health of any country.
Mm, yeah. Exactly. Exactly. I don't know if blessing is back.
Yes.
Oh,
Ye-
well, Shiva.
Yes, I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I'm back.
All right. So I don't know when you joined us, right? But I'm showing us some of the visualizations or
Okay.
reports that stood out for us.
Okay.
Okay. And this report is was created by Nafisa Jayeola. I don't know if she's here on the live. So this is the first page. So we've talked about the presentation of this, that this person actually, like, she knows how to get the attention of our audience.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
if you agree with me,
Yes, I do. I love the
right?
story. Yes, she
Thank
knows.
you. The storytelling.
The
We keep
storytelling.
the storytelling. The
Yeah.
storytelling. Like there were some submissions that when I went to their LinkedIn, because we asked them to select to also
Post.
submit their LinkedIn link. So when we saw their LinkedIn post, there was no image, nothing at all. There was just little write up and then a link to their Medium article. So what is that thing that will get my that will make me interested in clicking that
Looking that.
Medium link?
Yeah.
Yes. But you see this person, when I saw this, I was like, okay, wow, I need to like read more. And
Mhm.
I clicked the link.
Yeah.
So is that something you want to talk about, like storytelling? Although we've talked about it before, but like there is something about storytelling that we believe that every data professional should have.
If you want to catch the attention of for their right, and storytelling to explain to non-data persons. So if I'm not even a data person, I'm seeing your reports for the very first time, it's very, very easy for me to relate with what you've done. I can understand it
Mm,
without you explaining to me, because your dashboard is really telling me the story.
mm-hmm.
So storytelling, one thing I love very, very much. I love the fact that she, even while she was, she highlighted some things, some key in her report, even while still telling the stories.
Exactly. I love the highlights. I love her use of colors, the way she bolds some characters to lay emphasis on them. So please,
Yeah.
guys, when you are making this post on your LinkedIn, we always advise that you make yourself presentable or package yourself so that when people see it, they are interested. Um, Miracle submission, Miracle Onwupelu. Sorry, I don't know if I'm getting your surname correctly, but Miracle submission last week. There was this lady that was so interested, and she was the founder of one, or she's the founder of one toothpaste. I can't really remember the toothpaste. So imagine someone who is in the diaspora,
Mm-hmm.
a different race, right? Seeing your report and is interested. Why? Because you've been able to get their attention.
Yeah.
So if in the first few seconds you are not able to get my attention with your report, then that means you just created something that nobody is going to actually read or view,
Mm-hmm.
right? So this is for Nafisa. So Nafisa, well done. Well done with, I really love the use of simple visualizations here, like
Yeah.
simple visuals, no complex visuals.
Mm.
No scatter plots here and there, line charts here and there when you're not even supposed to be using all of these things. I love how she arranged, structured her report so that even non-technical audience will be able to understand, like
Yeah.
follow exactly. So that's it for Nafisa. So Nafisa, sorry. So let us even look at your recommendation, right? So
I'm
because you cannot
having
just create a beautiful.
proceed.
All right, so let's look at what Nafisa said. Okay. So I think she focused on Nigeria, of course, because she's from Nigeria, right? So I think she compared Nigeria with some countries, which is actually really marvelous. Okay. So let's just look at one recommendation. I'll move on to the next person. All right. So let's go to number 6. She says, revise minimum wage policies based on living costs. Thank you. Ensuring a sustainable standard of living for workers. I really like this because the minimum wage and then the cost of living, they don't, there is no, I don't know,
No,
is it there? No correlation.
no correlation.
Exactly. Exactly. There is no correlation. The minimum wage can buy in Nigeria, the minimum wage cannot even buy a bag of rice again.
Telling you.
So these things need to be revised.
Mm.
And those in power, they have the means to do this, but we know it's because of greed and all of that. Right? Because in working
Oh,
countries with good economy, they've revised all of these things. to ensure that their citizens
I
live
think
comfortably.
uh, yeah.
And now, please let's proceed to another person.
Yeah, so you said you think something.
Okay, so I think is her name Nafisat? The lady's work
Yes, now that, yes.
that placed herself um in that position of we are the ones facing the problem. So how do you want to be helped? And that was how she was being able to, generate recommendations like that. Because the
Yes.
best problem is if you first place yourself in the position of the one suffering that and you ask how can I be helped. So we know in Nigeria now, as the minimum wage is increasing, the cost also increasing. The
Yeah.
18,019 that core members collect at some point in their life was of better collecting now, because everything is just going haywire. So yes, thank you so much for that.
All right. Thank you very much. So I don't know, was it just me or was your? So I think there was a point you were breaking. Yeah. All
Okay.
right. So let's move on to, okay. So let's move on to Shinedu. Shinedu, I really love what Shinedu did. If I will show his work, I really love what he did. There was something, part of the criteria for promotion, for your work to be picked, to be noticed, is that you post on LinkedIn, like a summary of your detailed article on Medium. You post it on LinkedIn and also include an image or something that will capture the what's it called? Capture the interest of your audience. Okay, so let's look at what Chinedu did. I'm going to just expand this. Okay, so I don't think we can see. Okay, we can. All right. I love I love the title of this.
Mm-hmm.
I love the storytelling at play here. When it comes to this kind of report, this kind of case studies, your storytelling skills need to like be up there. A comparative analysis between Africa and Europe. So here he compared Africa and Europe. All right. So let me just go into this. All right. So the rising cost of living has significant implications for inflation, purchasing power, and economic stability in Africa. This presentation explores these relationships and provides insight to guide policy and business decisions. Good. And at the top here, he just gave brief definition of some things, which is good for the end audience or end users of this report, right? Because not everybody is going to understand what does COLI means. Not everybody will understand it, right? So he gave brief definitions of some things, which I really recommend. I really like that. Okay, so we have all of these metrics here: average cost of living index. So we have by the left here, we have for Africa, by the right, we have for Europe, and then we see the yearly population or yearly total population trend. So I wish this was more, maybe this, I wish this line chart was more elaborate because this just shows 2010, 2020. We can't really see the trend. Would you really call this a trend? I don't know, like, Blessing, would you call this a trend? Because I can't really see the trend from
Mm,
2010 to 2020. That's 10 years apart.
yes.
That's 10 years apart. And there wasn't anything here showing us that, okay, this is a 10-year or in the last decade, something like in the last decade, 10 years is a decade, right? So nothing like that here. So I won't really call this a trend because I didn't get the trend here. This just shows an upward
Like
movement.
it's an increase in the population of people from this year to particular year. So it's just showing us increase in
Yeah, but
population.
like no trend. I really can't see the trend exactly. Just the increase, like you called it. All right. So what can you say about this reports that we have here?
Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm trying to zoom
Okay.
out. See, first, this shows that this person knows what he's doing, right? The whole how
Yeah.
he's report and everything, comparing Africa to Europe, and
Yeah.
just looking at this. Okay,
But then, is this really answering the question, though? You know,
I
the
was
topic says, yeah,
more. Maybe he's just trying to show us. I think he still has more reports down.
yeah. So let me come down to that. Yeah.
So we won't just decide based on the first part. So impact of rising cost of living and economic health between Africa and Europe. Uh, so is it trying to tell us that Europe is more better than Africa, or because
Mhm.
people should have focused majorly maybe more on the
On Africa,
African
exactly.
are the ones facing most of these problems. It's like the Europe part
Yeah.
they already solved their problem.
Hmm.
So they're the ones that have problems to be solved.
To be
Right.
solved. Yes.
Yeah.
Or, or I think I would have even preferred this, right? If there was something he brought out from Europe, like what exactly did Europe do? Like the
Eh,
countries in Europe do
that
to
made them
combat exactly.
what did they do? Because part of
Hmm.
one part of giving recommendation is telling us where this thing you are giving has worked. So maybe they have said okay,
Exactly.
recommended things that has worked in Europe that has helped them to become stable to that point that their economic health is standing, then we know
Yes.
that Europe to Africa and to tell oh this thing has worked in Europe and that's why they are stable now. So it can also
Hmm.
work in so maybe that would have
So do you know that, like, even with the way the cost of living in Europe is way higher than the cost of living in Nigeria. Sorry, not even just in Nigeria, in Africa, like countries in Africa, right?
yes,
Okay, so
yes.
the cost of living there is higher. But why is it that we have a lot of people moving,
That's
relocating, or
yeah, that's
jackpying?
yes, that's because we have system to that they use over there that is helping them. That as the cost
Mm-hmm.
of living, there's system that is also how
Mm-hmm.
they also have system that is not making everything look somehow, you know,
Yeah.
for them there.
All right. So I have a question, Sherry. So this question is general question. Over there, right? Like in Europe, they have this hourly pay. Instead of people waiting, like there are some jobs you will do, it's hourly pay. They don't wait till month end before they get their money, right? It can even be weekly pay, right? So all of these things put in place. Do you think, we are in Nigeria? Do you think Nigeria will be able to, to survive that, or the policies maker in Nigeria will be able to give us that? Or what are the limitations?
Um,
Because okay,
limitations to that. For me, I don't think it has any limitations actually. Because when you work for your money, you get your money. That's the deal of life, right? So I can literally say that Nigeria can, if we have system that is working, is achievable, right? It is achievable if we have system that is working. When we looked at this project and we are kind of focusing it around Africa because it will give us more insight on what people are really going through in Africa. Do you understand? If let me say African leaders can actually implement some of all these things that make the Western world better, I believe Africa will be a better place for us to live. Nobody will actually tell, had anything to think of. I want to leave Nigeria, I want to leave Ghana, I want to live here and there, right? So that's what I can say. And I will just to To round up what your question, if it is achievable here, it is achievable if we have system that is working in terms of the leaders and in terms of the individuals as well, right? When I talk about individuals, I'm talking about the citizens, you and I. If I work for you as a citizen, as a fellow citizen, will you pay me my money when it is due time for you to pay me my money? We talk about our money is 1 hour, you work for 1 hour, you pay me my money. Or you start trying to show that income inequality or the gap between the rich and the poor, try to prove to me that you are a rich man and thereabout, right? So that's where we now talk about the leader, because if the leaders can implement it, that when someone work for you, come on, you have to pay the person, it will actually work. And it actually make it easier for money to circulate in the system. All right. Because if I work for an hour and I'm getting paid for that day, and it makes it easier for me to afford the standard of living. You understand? Because standard of living is one of the indicators of economic growth in a country, economic health of a country, right? Of course, economic growth as well, right? So it improves, it shows that, oh, people as a citizen, you are getting the benefit, or let me say the basic need of a citizen, like house, shelter, education, access to healthcare, and all that. So this is what I can say about that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, thank you very much. So, well, this is a very good. I really loved. I love the presentation, the storytelling attached to this. But I don't know. Okay, let me check. Is there? So let's not just say he didn't do that. So I'm going to head over to his Medium post and see if there was anything he did to, like what we said. What is it that these countries in Europe have done that has enabled them to combat this issue? Okay, so he didn't do that. All right, so he didn't do that. All right, so the case study didn't say compare. It says the impact of rising cost of living, right? The impact of rising cost of living in, sorry, the impact of rising cost of living on economic health in Africa. So this was just comparing Africa with Europe, but on what base? Like on what base? So even the recommendation, there was nothing here to say, okay, yeah. So there was nothing here to even to say this is what Europe has done and this is what Africa can actually copy, or should I say copy or adapt, right? So that is it from my own end. I'll just let Shinri um give us. So Shinri, can you give us like your own observations, during while we're selecting reports?
All right, so my own observation, right? Generally, I just want to appreciate all the interns that made it to the stage three, right? Everybody, if you are here and you can hear me, you made it to this third stage. To be very honest, right? I want to appreciate you, and I want to say that all the effort that you put into this to make sure that you get to this point will not be in vain, right? Now, you guys actually, you guys investors, right? You guys investors, a lot of insights, a lot of things that I never expected you guys to do, right? So you guys did them, and I want to really, commend everybody, especially people that use all other indicators, right? I saw someone use, I think I saw about two people use FDI, that's foreign direct investment. Now, all what foreign direct investment can do to a country, right? That is you as a Nigerian moving to Ghana to invest there. Of course, it will boost the economic health of the country. Do you understand? So a lot of people, I think I saw about two people use that, and I saw one person actually emphasized on that poverty rate. Because you can't be talking about poverty, you don't tell us the minimum. Well, let me say the rate for you to know that, oh, this country, in poverty, or they are in below poverty rate, or what's the poverty rate of a country, right? So you guys did well. And for those of you that are let me say dashboard, right? On LinkedIn. I don't want to say that you are so, I don't want to use the word lazy, but that's what it takes. You know, to show yourself, sell yourself. Nobody can sell you more than you can sell yourself. Sell yourself. And let me tell you guys something, right? This project that you guys have worked on, right, is something that I want to believe, I want to sincerely believe that is what you guys are going to have on your resume, right? You add it on your resume. That means your CV, right? You know those your sales analysis, your employee data sets or employee analysis that you have there. Just go and remove them. Yes, go and remove them. Add these ones on your resume. You should understand. This is real world case study. You guys have worked out and you see how this thing has actually helped you to improve. All of you, right? All of you have actually tried. I don't want to mention names, but I want to be very honest. You guys tried. Ogini Esther. I don't know if you're here, but you can hear me. Esther Ogini. Right? Esther Ogini. You did absolutely well. I want to cancel. I don't want to say that I want to cancel you to get to our mentorship stage, right? I went to your link. You lock the comment section, right? Nobody can comment, and you just pasted one table there, right? But when I was, I was pushed to go through your Medium to actually see, okay, what you have done. And I went to your link Medium, and it was so amazing, like great work that you have done there. But the question is, why then are you so lazy to push it out there? Now, you guys have worked on this. Let me tell you guys, there's something other things I was expecting from you guys to do on your post. Tag some international bodies on your post. Tag some national bodies, right? Let's say you actually focused on, let me say, Nigeria, right? I don't know. A lot of you, picked different countries, right? But let's say you picked Nigeria, tag some economic bodies, right? Tag World Health Organization. That is where you got the data. Tag the award in data. That's where you got the data. You understand? Tag some bodies. This is to create that visibility for you. Okay, that first case study that you guys did, that's the American Institution of America, right? If I'm not mistaken, right? So I was expecting a lot of you to actually tag that bank. You understand? But nobody, if I'm not mistaken, nobody tagged the bank. Are you scared, or are you seeing that what I'm done analytics actually provided for you cannot, you are not sure if this guy is provided. You are not sure of their data set, right? Sell yourself. Nobody can sell you if you cannot sell yourself, right? But then you can do better. As I always tell people, you can do better. There is this my favorite quote, and I love to use it, that all these experts, right? All the experts that you are looking at today, they all started somewhere. They were once beginners, and I want to believe that this project actually, it's up to you guys, because I saw a lot of your comments, your honest feedback on this program, and I can, I can say that yes, we have tried as an edtech company and as a team, right? We have other people that are part of the team, but you only see person and I, as Sandra, so it's not just us. So when you're appreciating the analytics team, so I appreciate us very well. So we have other people that are working background, right? So that's what I want to say. So now that's just my encouragement, right? And my little observation about this thing, just like what Sandra said, the full attention of someone. You posted something, I saw it from a lot of people. I don't Suleiman, I don't know if you are here and you can hear me. Suleiman, I can't remember your second name, but I remember that Suleiman. Okay, Suleiman, you did an amazing job. You did amazing job on your medium. I saw a lot of improvements now to compare with your last and the first project, right? But then you wanted to post this thing on your Twitter. You want to post it on your Twitter. You are just posting one picture, like none of the graph, none of the like nothing. You're just posting one picture like that on your Twitter. You can do better. Oh, you can do better. You can do better. So that's just it. My observation. You guys did well, but again, you can do better. A lot of you, I don't want to call names. The only people that I call names are people that I know that, oh, there is one or two that I know that they need to, you know, implement as well to help themselves, right? But to be very honest, I am being honest, right? You guys did absolutely well. Just give me a second. Just a second. I think I have some things that I wrote down that I want to share with you people. Okay, just a second. Okay, so this person, if yeah, precious, right? Precious, you have issue with selecting like right data. Let me say right charts for your analysis. I need you to work on that. It will help you. This is feedback. This is our honest feedback because we want the best for you, right? So we find out that you are just selecting chart. Like those charts, we are not actually. No, I don't want to say that, but you can do better with your charts, right? You have issue, selecting right charts for your analysis, right? Um, just a second again. Um, okay, this person again. I don't. Let me just get his name. Get his name. Ojako Imanela. So you can do well as well with your chart, right? You have like you don't know you don't let me say you don't have this. I don't know use some words so you don't get offense, but then you can do better with your chart, okay? You can do better with your chart. Now this person, I want to highly commend your work. I don't know if you are here. I think you're an economist. Praise Odosa. Praise, are you here? Please, if you are here, just signify. Because when I went through your post on Medium, right? I don't want to say because I'm an economist, but I took like about 5 minutes or 10 minutes to read through everything, right? Faith, praise Odosa, right? That person did an amazing job with with his or her write up. I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, right? But like when you saw some words and you know that, come on, these things are not ChatGPT generated. We are giving out some, we are giving out terminologies and you are backing it up with facts, right? With statistics. That's so amazing. And Yetunde is an amazing person. I went through this thing. I was like, you just see statistics and you read, you see another one, statistics, and you see with charts. This is like amazing things that you guys did. Okay, you guys did absolutely well. I just a second again. Let me see if there's any other person that we need to encourage as well. Just like I said, we are not here to say that you did not do well, or to judge you, right? Not at all. Just something that will help you to do better. Oh, okay, so this person again, I'm not sure that you clean your data. I'm not sure that you clean your data very well. John Convenant. So I'm not sure that you clean your data very well. Why am I saying so? So if you go through your dashboard, right? Your dashboard. So you are country, use your country as slicer. Now I'm seeing I saw one that where we have blank. So why do you have that blank? I think is it blank or something dot that is there. So it shows that the data you do not clean your data very well. I'm being honest, right? It shows that you do not clean your data very well. Aside from that, your other this thing so is so detailed. Yeah, so detailed and you pay attention to the objective as well. Okay, so that I think that's all from me. Sandra, is there any other thing that you want us to talk about? Is there any other thing I you want to talk about?
I think Sandra has got off the call. Thank you.
Oh, okay, she's back.
Hello.
Yes, Sandra, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yes, I think I'm through. I think I'm through. Or is there any other thing that we need to talk about?
Sorry, can you hear me very well?
I can hear you. Please proceed. I can hear you.
So my network is a bit rusty, not really good, but I hope you can hear me very well.
Please proceed. We can hear you. All right, Sandra. Well, I can hear you clearly here. Okay, so I have actually stated my observation with the data and then encourage the interns on what I discovered about their posts and of course what they can do better to improve themselves. Right. My other encouragement that I want to encourage you guys, right, for those that make it to this stage, don't say that this is the end, right? Or let me say the end of your growth. Learning is continuous growth. There is a continuous growth. Yeah, take some break, relax your brain, but don't say that, oh, because I've solved a lot of real life projects, right? I am now the best person. I can no longer work project, right? It helps you to improve on your skills, and which I can literally say that almost all of you that have worked on this thing can see a lot of improvement on your skills, on your expertise, like proving that, oh, I can use Excel. And Tema, I don't know, Tema Yuchi, something like that. I don't know if she's here, but that person, I think today I noticed that all of the work that she has been doing, I've worked on, it's actually, she used Excel. I was like, wow, so Isaac can do this amazing job. Another person again, I don't know, is it Favor Idara? There's another person again who uses Excel as well. It's not about the tools that you are using. It's about the skills, the insight that you will bring with that tools, right? And I always said this thing. Data analyst, well, data analytics is not about Excel. Yeah, it's not about Power BI, it's not about SK, it's not about Python. It's about the insights, right? It's about bringing insights from your data. It's about analyzing it. Of course, what we are going to be doing here next week. See, let me tell you something. Next week is going to be very hot. Yeah, next week is going to be very hot. Okay, so if you want to go and, you know, I would suggest take some sleep, right? But then next week is going to be very hot because not only are we trying to help you to, to improve on your skills, your technical skills, we want you as well to improve on your soft skills, right? Because you are going to come here on next week Sunday, present all your projects, present all your projects. Are we good? Are we? All right, Sandra, I think that's all for me. If you have any other thing to say, please proceed. If there's not, so we can just call it a day. Yeah. Hello, Sandra, can you hear me? If you can hear me, if there's nothing you want to say, we can just, I think your network is bad.
My network here is
So someone
really
said that. So I
terrible.
want to ask that guy that, I don't know if he's a guy. Okay,
Hello.
then proceed. Okay, so I think that's all for me, guys. So if you have any question, please don't hesitate. Drop your question here. Is there anything you want us to do you have any question now that you want us to look at, you want us to treat? Please, if you have any question, please drop your question now so we can look at it together. And again, I don't know that guy that usually goes to hospital to sleep, right? I don't know if he's a guy or a lady, but I want to ask, did he make it to this stage 3? So, guys, I don't know who is the person. What's his name? If you can hear me, please let me know. If you can hear me, and let me know his name. And I want to be sure that he made it to this stage 3. What is his name, please? Yes, I did.
Okay. So I think
Oh,
good now. Can you hear me?
Sandra, proceed. Yeah.
All right. So I don't. What are we talking about now?
That's all for me. That's all for me. Do you want to say something so we can call it a day?
Yeah. So I just want to talk about on Sunday's event, which is the final event. I don't know if that has been discussed already.
Please proceed. Oh God of mercy. What kind of network is this? Okay, so I think we are going to call it a day here. So Sunday's uh event. Okay, let me just share a little light. Okay, I can see you beat Demi Saka. Okay, beat Demi Saka. I am glad that you did that. You made it to this stage 3. I'm glad that you made it to this stage, right? Well done. So let's talk about the next week project and next week Sunday how it's gonna be. It's gonna be massive, right? Oh God, it's gonna be massive. I don't know the network that you are using, Sandra. To be honest, can you proceed? Can you proceed?
Yes, I can proceed, but I need to know where we stopped.
Just proceed. I'm through with everything. I'm about to end the live. Just proceed.
Okay, that's all from my end.
I thought you want to say something about the next week.
All right, so thank you, everybody. Sorry about the network. I really didn't get anything, but I hope we all had a good time today. So next week we're going to have or let's say the final event on Sunday, 1st of December, and we're going to have amazing guests join us next week. So don't worry, we're going to update you guys on the group on how it's going to go. So, like we said, well done to all the E10s, everyone from the very first task till now, even those who were not promoted, those who were promoted. Congratulations, everybody. You all are winners. Yeah. And like Sherry said, please add these things to your portfolio because these are real world case scenarios. So these are things that need to be added to your portfolio, something that you can show to recruiters, potential employers, and your network at large. All right. So show them that okay, you are not just a data analyst by title, but you also know your craft. You also you know your onions and you know exactly what to do as a data professional. So well done, everybody.
That well done, everyone. I really appreciate you guys. Person, thank you very much for joining us. I really appreciate you. Thank you very much. Can you hear me? Hi, person. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you very much for joining. I do appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
All right. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye.